Romulus is a legendary figure in Roman mythology and is said to be the co-founder of Rome along with his twin brother Remus. Romulus and Remus were said to be the sons of the god Mars, or Ares in Greek mythology, and the priestess Rhea Silvia. According to the myth, they were abandoned by the Tiber River and were later discovered and nursed by a she-wolf, which became an important symbol of Rome. Romulus and Remus were said to have decided to build a city on the Palatine Hill. A disagreement over its location led to Romulus killing Remus. Following his brother's death, Romulus became the first king of Rome in 753 BC, according to the Roman calendar. Romulus is credited with building the early fortifications of Rome, known as the Servian Wall, which surrounded the original city on the Palatine and Esquiline hills. He established the Senate, a council of elder citizens, which would play a crucial role in the governance of Rome. Romulus is said to have waged wars and expanded Rome's territory by incorporating neighboring communities into the city. Romulus and his followers abducted women from the neighboring Sabine tribe to increase the population of Rome. This event is known as the Rape of the Sabine Women. Romulus is also said to have conquered the towns of Nomentum and Fidene during his reign. He established various religious practices and rituals that were important for the early Roman society. According to some accounts, after his death, Romulus was deified and worshipped as the god Quirinus. The Quirinal Hill in Rome was named after the god Quirinus, which was associated with Romulus. The circumstances of Romulus's death are shrouded in mystery. Different versions of the myth suggest he was either murdered or ascended to the heavens. The festival of Consualia was celebrated on August 21st in honor of Romulus, who was considered the protector of grain. Romulus was also associated with the ancient Roman festival of Lupercalia, a fertility celebration involving rituals to cleanse and purify the city. Romulus's story played a significant role in shaping the Roman sense of identity and origins, even though the historical accuracy of the events is debated. Romulus's story has been depicted in various works of art, literature, and later Roman historical accounts. Romulus is credited with instituting the early Roman calendar, which was later reformed by subsequent rulers. The Lex Romana, or Roman law, was attributed to Romulus, although it developed significantly over time. Romulus is often depicted in Roman art and coins, often with the symbolic she-wolf and twins. Romulus's legend is an integral part of Roman mythology and is connected to the city's foundation narrative. The city of Rome itself is named after Romulus. Its Latin name Roma is believed to have originated from his name. While Romulus is a central figure in Roman mythology, his historical existence is debated by modern historians due to the lack of concrete evidence from that early period. Regardless of his historicity, the story of Romulus has had a profound impact on Rome's cultural and historical identity, influencing archaeological research and shaping the city's narrative for centuries. The legendary figure of Romulus is traditionally considered the founder of Rome and one of its first kings. The story of Romulus and his twin brother Remus, along with the founding of Rome, is a mixture of history, myth, and legend. Here's a summarized biography of Romulus based on the traditional narrative. Birth and early life. According to Roman mythology, Romulus and Remus were born to Rhea Silvia, a Vestal virgin, and the god Mars. Their birth was considered miraculous, and their mother's uncle, King Amulius of Alba Longa, feared that they might threaten his claim to the throne. As a result, he ordered the infants to be abandoned in a basket on the banks of the Tiber River, raised by wolves. The abandoned twins were discovered by a she-wolf who nursed and cared for them in her den. They were also said to have been cared for by a woodpecker, a symbol of divine protection. A local shepherd named Faustulus found the boys and raised them as his own. Discovery of their royal heritage. As the twins grew older, they learned of their royal heritage and the true story of their birth. Upon discovering their true identity, they decided to reclaim their rightful place in Alba Longa. Foundation of Rome. The twins, along with a group of followers, eventually made their way to the site where they had been abandoned by the river. Here, they decided to establish a new city. However, a dispute arose between Romulus and Remus over where the city's boundaries should be located. The disagreement escalated, leading to a tragic confrontation between the brothers. Death of Remus. In one version of the story, Remus leaped over the newly built walls of the city in a show of defiance. Romulus, interpreting this act as a bad omen, became angry and killed his brother. This event marked the end of the twins' collaboration and signaled Romulus's sole leadership. Rule of Rome. After the death of Remus, Romulus continued to develop the city and named it Rome after himself. He established a senate, organized the people into classes, and created the framework for Rome's political and social institutions. Sabine women. To ensure the growth of Rome's population, Romulus invited neighboring tribes, the Sabines, to a festival and then abducted their women. This led to a conflict known as the Rape of the Sabine Women. The dispute was eventually resolved when the Sabine women intervened to reconcile their husbands and their new Roman families. Divine end. According to legend, Romulus ruled Rome for about 37 years. His end was marked by his sudden disappearance during a violent thunderstorm. Romans believed that he was taken up to the heavens by the gods, becoming the god Quirinus. His body was never found, and he was revered as a divine figure and the city's first hero. The story of Romulus is a blend of historical elements, myth, and symbolism that forms the foundation of Rome's legendary origin. It's important to note that much of the narrative is shrouded in legend, and the historical accuracy of these events is debated among historians.